Hey there, this is Gina with your Kingdom Sewing Minute Clinic. Today I'm working on the Baby Lock Soprano and I want to show you how to use a gathering foot. So first of all, we'll take a look at the foot. You can see this is a screw-on foot. It's got a built-in ankle. It's kind of an unusual shape. It's round. It has this slot in the front, and you can see by the back here it doesn't actually sit on the fabric in the back, just on this sort of weighted portion in the front. There is also no slot here, so for the thread to go in, you have to pull the thread through. So let's go ahead and put that on the machine. Now most of your different brands of machines should have this accessory foot. I don't believe it comes with any of the machines. It is an optional accessory that you would purchase, but you should be able to find one for your brand machine without too much trouble. Let me show you the setup on the stitch. It's a little bit different. So I've chosen a basic straight stitch, and you can see here I've adjusted my tension up to 6 and I've adjusted my stitch length to 5. So that's something you would probably be doing normally if you were sewing gathering stitches that you were then going to pull and gather manually. All right, so I'm going to put my fabric underneath the foot here. Now it is a good idea to, let me get the thread through the foot there. It is a good idea to hold on to the tails when you get started, because we've put so much tension on the thread. We do want to make sure that it's actually stitching, because with all that tension what can happen is the thread can actually pull right out of the stitches. So we'll just hold on for the first couple of stitches, just until it gets going. And you can see behind the foot there how it's already gathering up. If we wanted to have those gathers be a little tighter, we could put our finger behind there and kind of add a little extra pressure, and we could make the gathering really tight. Now this is still going to be a little bit adjustable, but not as much so as if you had just done a regular straight stitch. So I don't like to use my cutter just in case I want to pull those threads a little more. We'll cut that off, and there you can see we've got a nice gather, and here it's a little looser. This is where I put my finger behind and made it a little bit tighter. All right, so the other thing that we can do with this particular foot from Baby Lock that has the slot in it is that we can gather and attach at the same time. So I'm going to put my ruffle piece underneath the foot, and into that slot I'm going to put my flat piece of fabric. Now I've cut this so that the flat piece, or I'm sorry, the ruffled piece is about twice as long, because generally when you're ruffling you want about twice as much for fullness, but you can adjust the tension for the stitch if you again want it to be more gathered or less gathered than a 1 to or 2 to 1 ratio. So we'll go ahead and take a couple of anchoring stitches here to get started. Now because this foot is not sitting down on the fabric, this black fabric is just going to slide through here. So I do have to sort of help it out a little bit as it's going through. And I'm actually going to pull a little bit. This time I'll go ahead and use my cutter, and you can see when I open this up I've got my gathered ruffle attached to my flat piece just like that. A little bit of a press and that's going to be beautiful. So that's how you use a gathering foot. Give it a try. This has been your Kingdom Sewing Minute Clinic.